John, and a very good evening, everybody. You're listening to Talk Sport 2. Luton, QPR, then the first football of the weekend. Both sets of players are out on the pitch. The sun has just set here at Kenilworth Road, and the floodlights are on. A perfect Friday night to listen to football. Luton in their orange home kit with the black shirts, and it's packed here at Kenilworth Road. A sold out away end as well, not too far for the QPR fans to travel, of course. Neither of these sides has got a win yet in the Championship, so precious points up for grabs this evening for both of them. And ahead of an international break as well, they'll be desperate to get their first 3 points on the board, so they're not going into that break worrying about where that first win is going to come from. So we are about to get underway then. The transfer market shuts this evening, but we're here at Kenilworth Road as Luton take on QPR. These sides can't buy a win at the moment. Luton 2 losses and a draw, QPR 2 draws and a loss from the opening 3 games. Can either of them get their first league win of the campaign this evening? Kenilworth Road is buzzing in anticipation for Friday night football under the lights. It's Tahith Chong in the centre circle who will get us underway for Luton. Luton in their orange home kit. QPR opting not to wear their away kit. They're in their home kit, the blue and white striped shirts, the white shorts and the white socks. As we get underway, Kaminsky hits it long, and joining me for this game is former Luton Town striker Sam Parkin. Evening, Sam.
Evening, Flo.
Your thoughts ahead of this one?
Yeah, I mean, there's no love lost between these two sides. Going back to my playing days here at Kenilworth Road, I think we played them in that first season that I was here, maybe 2 or 3 times, certainly in one of the cup competitions as well as the league programme, and it's always a big game, I think, for both sets of supporters. There's been a few tempestuous encounters between the two the last few seasons, especially when they were both vying for promotion out of the Championship. So it's a really good atmosphere. The QPR allocation is full away to our right, and both sides desperately need to get up and running this season. As we touched on a few moments ago, there's an early yellow card, Flo. I'll let you take over here.
Yeah, looks like an early yellow card for Jordan Clark for a pull of the shirt, and a free kick for QPR 15 yards inside the Luton half. So as Bobby Madley just chats to Chong before that free kick's taken, I'll just run through the lineup for Luton. In goal, Kaminsky, back 3, Burke, McGuinness, Bell, wing backs Walters, Doherty, midfield Clark, Baptiste, Chong and Adebayo, and Morris up top. That's the Luton starting 11, but QPR have a free kick here. 90 seconds played, Luton 0, QPR 0. It's Dembele who looks like he's going to take this. The QPR players lined up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Dembele floats it towards the back post, overhit out for a goal kick, which gives me a chance to go through the starting 11 then for QPR. Nardi in goal, a back 4 of Powell, Clark, Salter, Cook and Dunn. That back 4 started every game for QPR so far this Championship season. Colback back from suspension, Field and Madsen in midfield, Lloyd, Bray and Dembele up top. Dembele on the ball now, and he's an exciting signing, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really enjoyed watching him last year at Blackpool. All left foot, low centre of gravity, goes past people with ease. He looks to be a fantastic acquisition. Already created a number of chances for QPR across the first few games.
And his brother, Sariki Dembele, just signed for Oxford United, so they'll come up against each other, the two brothers, as the ball is put out of play by Cook. And it's a throw-in for Luton out on that far side. And it was in fact Tahith Chong who got that yellow card, not Jordan Clark, for the pullback earlier in that free kick. Well spotted by my co-commentator Sam Parkett. Long ball that's headed out by Powell. Luton have a throw-in midway inside the QPR half. Will Walters, another new acquisition. His contract ran out at Arsenal. He opted to come to Luton Town. He wants to play. He goes back to Burke. Square ball across the midfield central line to Bell. Picked up by Baptiste. He spreads it wide to Doherty. Got the most assists for Luton last season, Alfie Doherty. Got a great cross on him. And then Burke goes down the line to Carlton Morris. He tries to flick it into the path of Walters. Walters trips up Colback in the box, and QPR get a free kick in their own penalty area. 4 minutes played. Luton 0, QPR 0 here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, does well, Jack Colback. He's not going to want to get into too many races with Walters. He's a bit of a flyer down the right-hand side. He's had an excellent start to the season, but Colback doing an unfashionable job, which he'll have done many times in his career. Good tracking, gets his body in the way, and Walters in his youthful exuberance, too physical.
The QPR away fans in good voice to our right. Behind their goalkeeper, who hits it long. Frey with the flick on. Frey back to Colback. Luton have it just inside the... QPR have it just inside the Luton half. Frey now on the edge of the Luton box. Slides it into Dembele. Dembele in the box, and he shoots low, and it's just wide. From Dembele. First chance of the game. Goes the way of QPR, but they can't find the target.
Glorious opportunity, brilliant from Lloyd down on this near side, and Michael Frey, whose touch was sublime. It was Lloyd who just punched a header into his feet, the big centre forward. His initial touch was superb, taking it away from Amari Bell, laid it to Dembele, slightly behind Dembele, so he had to readjust his feet, but you'd still expect him to score there. Just missed the far post by a yard or two.
The ball's at the feet of Amari Bell. He slides it forward to Alfie Doherty, who loses possession, but they managed to nip it back, Luton. It's now with Burke playing his first minutes in the Championship this season. He was out with an injury. It's now with Carlton Morris on the halfway line. He feeds Walters, plays it around the corner for Elijah Adebayo, but the offside flag is up, so it'll be a free kick for QPR midway inside their own half.
Definitely looking to play a couple more initial passes, Luton, before working it into the front players, and I don't think that was the case. Absolutely wasn't the case the last time they were in the Championship. So I think this is a bit of a new Luton Town start of this season. I think Rob Edwards, now that he's had a couple of years or so in the job, he's just looking to evolve. I think you see it sometimes when a manager grows in a position.
Adebayo and Carlton Morris combine, but QPR's Jimmy Dunn clears the ball, boots it out onto the roof in the stand in front of us. It just bounces down back onto the pitch, and a Luton throw-in on the Luton left midway inside QPR's half. Neither Morris or Adebayo have got off the mark yet when it comes to goals, and Rob Edwards will be very keen for them to get their first goal. Throw-in taken by Doherty. He's then dispossessed. Now can QPR break? Colback has the ball nicked off him by Chong. Chong now to Doherty, racing down towards the byline, and then tries to feed it back into Chong. Overhit pass out for a goal kick for the visitors. 0-0 still, 7 minutes played here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, Carl Morris and Teeth Chong are just lining up in behind Adebayo, but I think when the ball is built wide, there's no surprise that Carlton Morris is going to make the box and get alongside Adebayo, and that's what they were trying to work on the left hand side there. An early crossing opportunity, unfortunately it wasn't able to be delivered into the 18-yard box, but I think with the two number 10s, Chong and Carlton Morris, that I can understand, you know, the necessity to play a little bit more. You've got those two players dropping into the pocket rather than going direct into Adebayo. Try and get it into Morris and Chong, who are both adept on the deck.
Jordan Clark runs into three QPR bodies, and QPR will now try and work it out of their left back position. It's a long ball. Kaminsky retreats, and McGuinness passes back to his goalkeeper. Plays it out to Amari Bell. Amari Bell strides forward, not under any pressure in his own half. Square to Shandon Baptiste, one of the signings Luton made over the summer from Brentford. He squares and switches the ball to Will Walters. Walter's wearing his socks slung low with those tiny little shin pads that look the size of custard creams. Jack Grealish-esque. See if he's got the talent of Jack Grealish, Sam. And then Dembele plays a through ball to Frey, who's about a yard offside. Free kick for the home side.
Yeah, I think you've got to be a good player to have your socks like that, and you've got to have the confidence. I would have thought when I was playing it would have been putting unnecessary pressure on me. Do you know what I mean? I think as well when the first white boots came out, there was only a few that would have been bold enough to wear them. Obviously now black boots are a rarity, but yeah, you've got to be a good player, absolutely, to have your socks down.
Good move here from QPR. Lloyd into the penalty area, plays it across goal. Amari Bell got there first to intercept. He had to because Dembele was coming round the back. QPR looking the more likely at the moment. It's their second chance. Luton yet to have a shot on target. It's with Powell. 9 minutes played. Luton 0, QPR 0. QPR working it well down this left-hand side. Clark Salter then goes back. Did you have your socks up over your knees then, Sam?
I think that's the same story. I think that's additional pressure. There's only John Terry and Thierry Henry. Maybe that springs to mind in that regard. It's all the rage now, isn't it, with the youngsters?
You've got to have your socks in the perfect midpoint just below your knee, otherwise you're making a massive statement.
Yeah.
Clark Salter with the ball at his feet for QPR in the left-back position. He just drifts in field. Plays it out to Lloyd. Academy kid Lloyd down the left wing, up against Burke. Opts to go back to Colback. QPR in the Luton half. Back with Clark Salter. Under pressure from Carlton Morris. He's always so good at pressing. And Luton win it back with Clark. Taith Chong making a run forward. It's fed instead to Adebayo just over the halfway line. Rob Edwards urging his players forward. Chong then knocks it out of play for a QPR throw-in out by QPR's own corner flag. 0-0 still here on TalkSport 2.
I think it's been a really bright start by both sides. The pitch is absolutely immaculate. It's beautiful this stage of the season. I think we've got two good footballing teams on display here. I think Luton are changing a little bit, like I touched on a few moments ago. They're knocking it around with confidence, and QPR, especially down this left-hand side where they seem to be overloading to a degree. Young lad Lloyd, Madsen, the midfield player that I spoke of pre-match, coming over here as well and getting involved. Nice little triangles. It's been a bright start by both.
All headed out of play by Kenneth Carl for a Luton throw-in in the QPR half. Back with Burke. He goes all the way back to McGuinness, another summer signing for Luton from Cardiff. He also spent time in the Arsenal Academy, playing at the heart of Luton's defence. Arsenal, of course, play tomorrow. Arsenal-Brighton, 12:30 kickoff. That's live on TalkSport. Championship offering for that time as well is the East Lancashire derby. Blackburn up against Burnley as Doherty has the ball for Luton out by the corner flag. He's dispossessed well by the diminutive figure of Dembele. And it's then hit up to Frey. Good hold-up play from the big centre forward. Frey into Madsen, who can't control it. And Amari Bell recovers the ball for Luton. And it's with Shandon Baptiste. And of the signings, Sam, that Luton have made, or both sides have made, which one do you think will turn out to be the best over the season? Who have you got your eye on?
Oh, that's a question and a half. I think McGuinness is a brilliant capture. Obviously, good pedigree, did really well at Cardiff. They paid a fair chunk of money for him, but yeah, I think he's an excellent competitor. A bit old-fashioned in terms of his defensive work.
Great ball there from Carlton Morris into Adebayo, and it's good goalkeeping from the QPR. Shot stopper came out quickly, snatched it out of the path of Adebayo to prevent him from getting an effort off. TalkSport 2, Luton 0, QPR 0. So far QPR with the best chance of the half. Luton growing into it, yet to really force a save from QPR's goalkeeper. It's up to Colback, heads it back to Frey. Frey flicks it on for Lloyd. Nice move, building by QPR, breaks down. And it's at the feet of Luton's shot stopper Kaminsky. Rumours ahead of this that Leicester had tabled a bid for 10 million for Kaminsky, but he starts tonight. If he's subbed off then, Sam, then maybe he's been transferred off to Leicester.
Every chance.
QPR's Lloyd with the ball at his feet goes back to Powell. Both managers teetering on the edge of their touchlines. Two managers with very bright prospects, well liked by their fans. And you feel that that will give them time, despite the fact that both of them haven't had the best starts to this championship campaign. Ball's out at the feet of right back Jimmy Dunn for QPR. He turns inside into trouble. The luck of the bounce means Sam Field's able to get it out to the left. It's now with Lloyd out on the touchline up against Burke. Back in field to Cole back. Danish midfielder Madsen now on the ball for QPR. This is good build up from the R's. Lovely little dink there from Madsen. It's with Lloyd. He goes back to Powell. Bodies in the box. Powell opts to go down the line instead to Colbert. QPR stab it back to Clark Salter to keep possession, but they've got Luton penned in their own defensive third here. Rob Edwards screaming at his team to press. QPR still have it. They switch it out to the far side. Ball's at the feet now of Dembele. He wants to run at his man. Runs in field. Back with Jimmy Dunn. Still goalless here on TalkSport, Kenilworth Road. Out with Lloyd. Was playing for the under-21s last season. Now playing championship football left forward. Just kicks the ball out of play accidentally. But a good start from QPR, Sam.
It has, and again, they're being really bright down on this left side. I think they just turned down the opportunity, or they missed an opportunity there. Frey initially could have just helped the ball into space for Alfie Lloyd, and then Cole back there opted to play short into him. I think if he'd just played it round the corner into the space, then Burke and Walters would have been taken out of the game.
Adebayo now driving into the penalty box. Sliding challenge, out for a goal kick. Steve Cook, the QPR captain, with the sliding block, and he stands in front of his fans afterwards to take their hefty applause. Goal kick then will be taken by QPR's new goalkeeper, Paul Nardi, signed over the summer. QPR played out to the right for Dembele, then flicked into Frey, tried to control the ball aerially, high boot, but the referee says play on. It's now out with Tahith Chong on the left hand side for Luton, on the corner of the penalty box, now slides it into Jordan Clark. He pulls the trigger, his shot takes a deflection out for a Luton corner, the first corner of the game for Luton, and that evokes a big round of applause from the Luton fans.
Such a clever player, Jordan Clark. I mean, Sam Field's in close proximity with him when the ball's played square into his feet, but he's just got such great awareness. He shifts it onto his left side into the space and gets the strike away. Little deflection giving Luton the corner, but you can't afford to really give Clark that type of space. He showed it countless times in his career since he's come to Luton. Really good player.
Corner then will be taken by Alfie Doherty, and there's a Luton player on the QPR goalkeeper, and I can't see a QPR player near him, as it swung in, goes over everybody, kept alive by Baptiste on the edge of the penalty area. He swings it back in, and the header saved by Nada, but put into the back of the net by a QPR player. Jimmy Dunn with the own goal. There was not much he could do, but Luton take the lead on 17 minutes. Luton Town 1, QPR 0.
Well, it's a brilliant ball in, first and foremost, from Walters. Swings it in from the right-hand side, and McGuinness is just completely unopposed. I think he should score. His header's pretty central. It gives Nardi the opportunity to make the save. But as you say, Jimmy Dunn's the unfortunate QPR play. Can't sort his feet out, and it kind of ricochets off his knee, off his shins, into the corner of the net. But it's Walters, I think, with the approach play. Brilliant ball in, and it's met with a thumping header, which Nardi just about deals with, and Jimmy Dunn turns into his own net. Luton
Jimmy Dunn.
Yeah, it's Baptiste actually with the delivery on his left side, on his weaker foot as well. It was just a brilliantly angled delivery. The pace was on it as well, but McGuinness completely unmarked in the middle, got up well, good contact on the header. Too much on it really for Nardi to deal with.
And that was really Luton Town's first meaningful chance, and they've taken it.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of frustration just seeping into the crowd. The energy had dropped inside here, a few passes going astray, but that's given them all a lift after QPR, probably territory-wise and also in terms of the sharpness of their play, have been slightly the better of the two teams.
19 minutes on the clock then. Luton Town 1, Queen Park Rangers 0 here on TalkSport 2. The ball's at the feet of the Luton Town goalkeeper Kaminsky. The Hatters trying to play out from the back. Baptiste around the corner to Jordan Clark. He tries to spray it out to Walters, but QPR nick it back. Frey with a lovely flick around the corner. He was hoping his QPR teammate Lloyd was going to run onto it. He didn't. Looked a little bit exasperated with the young man. And Luton have the ball back. So Luton lead through their own goal. And sometimes when you're having a bit of a tough time, Sam, you just need a bit of luck, don't you? And that's what they've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Not been happening for them in an attacking sense, but I think we've seen already this is a good side still. Luton have got good players. They just need to get that first win on the board. They need to get beyond the transfer window first and foremost, so all that speculation about the players can just go away for 6 months and they can focus in on trying to get out of the Championship. Got sympathy with Michael Frey there. I think we've seen enough of him now, Flo, over the last year or so. He's not going to run behind. He needs a teammate to stretch the game for him, and him turning it around the corner is not the worst ball or the worst idea in the world. He needs Dembele and Lloyd, those two in particular, to stretch the game and get down the outside of the Luton centre-halves.
Chong out by the corner flag for Luton as Luton attack the QPR box. Chong feeds it through to Adebayo. Adebayo looking for the cutback and out for a Luton throw-in right by the corner flag on that far side. Doherty goes back to Amari Bell. Not under pressure. Takes a couple of steps forward. Driving to the byline, he crosses it in. Not cleared, only cleared as far as Chong. Great feet from Chong in the box, but he's forced wide. Back to Doherty. Doherty with a cross in. And when Alfie Doherty gets to the ball and whips one in, you usually expect a perfect cross, but that one was not good, Sam.
I think it maybe took a deflection because the crowd on the far side, probably the most vociferous of the Luton Town supporters, wanted the corner there. They felt that it had just gone over the line before Nardi got it. And this is like one of those spells here that can really smother you, I think, when they're attacking that end, Luton. Really loud in that far corner. Strangely, they'll be attacking a full complement of home fans in the other end in the second half, but I really feel they get going when they're going towards this end of the ground, and at the moment QPR just can't get out and get a little bit of meaningful possession.
What's going on here then? So Jack Colbert looked like he was fouled and then put his body over the ball, kind of obstructing it. I think the referee's given a free kick to Luton, and pretty advantageous position right on the edge of the QPR penalty area, right of centre, almost on the corner of the 18-yard box, and this is a great opportunity for Luton to deliver a ball, and again it's Alfie Doherty.
Yeah, I think if you're a Luton player attacking this, you just steam in towards the far post, and Alfie Doherty's just got to try and land it probably just beyond the 6-yard box with pace towards that far corner, and then the keeper so often is in no man's land, doesn't know if there's going to be a touch or not.
Luton leading by goal to nil. Doherty pulls the ball into the box, and a Luton player gone dance. Carlton Morris, he wants a penalty there. Referee Bobby Madley not interested, and the ball just floated over everyone and went out for a goal kick.
Yeah, they're looking threatening. I mean, it's Burke and McGuinness who dart towards the ball there, but you've also got to worry about Morris and Adebayo. I mean, that was a big appeal there. That wasn't just one or two of the supporters or one or two of the players. That was everyone in unison wanting the penalty. Officials not interested.
And we know the referees said they're going to be hotter this year on holding in the box. Carlton Morris not there. Getting it. Doughty across the face of goal. And Adebayo couldn't quite stretch a limb long enough to get the touch that would have surely guided that into the net for Luton's second. Good ball from Alfie. Doughty just whipped it across that 6-yard box.
Yeah, just a fraction too heavy. It's really thumped in there, as you say. And Adebayo has stolen the march on his marker. He's in front of it. Kenneth Parle just can't get that right boot onto the ball, which surely would have turned it into the net.
Adebayo not scored in quite a few league games now. Not up and running in this Championship campaign. He did get into double figures in the Premier League as it happened. Will be a QPR throw-in out by their own corner flag. 24 minutes played. Luton Town 1, QPR 0 here on TalkSport 2. Alongside me, Sam Parkin, the former Luton striker. As QPR throw it down the line. Comes back to them and they boot it up long. Amari Bell with the returning header. Neither side able to get it back under control until it falls to the foot of Tahith Chong, who goes back to Doughty. QPR just needs to get a foothold back on the game, get their foot on the ball and slow things down. They're under the cosh a little bit.
Yeah, well, there's an intensity that Rob Edwards demands from his players. He wants to play fast attacking football this season, and it's really in evidence at the moment. They're threatening to blow QPR away, where for 15 minutes QPR was sharp, they were neat and tidy, created the best opportunity by some way for Dembele, but that goal, as you rightly said, would just maybe turn the tide, and the confidence seems to be coming back.
Luton give it away in a dangerous area. It's then fed in to Frey. Frey in the penalty area, trying to get space to shoot. Blocked well by McGuinness. Good defending from the young centre half. Luton then playing a little bit edgily in the box. One back by Dunn. Now with Madsen, he finds Dembele on the corner of Luton's penalty area. It's then hooked away by Shandon Baptiste. QPR have it at the back and they go all the way back to their goalkeeper. And as you say, Sam Parkin, Luton trying to play fast attacking football. And I can see over there actually a banner from the Town fans which says, it's got a picture of Rob Edwards and it says sexy football.
Yeah, I mean, might be more referring to his good looks.
QPR now bursting into the... Luton get it away though.
He's nearly in earshot. I don't want to give him a big head.
I'll leave you to comment on his good looks. Kenneth Powell for QPR. It's over the halfway line, goes back to Colback. This is better from QPR. They've got their foot on the ball. They're just now switching it over to that right-hand side at the feet of Jimmy Dunn, who scored the own goal, the only goal so far in this game. It means that Luton are leading. Luton win it back though and go all the way back to their goalkeeper Kaminsky at the feet of Burke.
That was half a decent opportunity for Frey just a moment or so ago, Flo, and I think that's where you need a little bit of inventiveness from your centre forward. He's not got the pace, he's not got the trickery, and McGuinness was nice and tight to him, so I think he would have been better suited just looking to pop that off to one of the midfield players who was arriving.
Great control by Walters, who feeds it in to Clark. Clark chips the ball into the box. Carlton Morris was jumping in, it was headed clear though by a blue and white shirt. Still with Luton, Amari Bell finds Doughty, who feeds it in to Adebayo, whose ball across goal is cleared by Steve Cook and then collected and smothered by QPR's goalkeeper.
It was a mess, wasn't it? It was Sam Field that went to ground at the front of the 6-yard box. Jordan Clark was in close proximity, just looking to sniff out an opportunity. Almost got it caught in between his legs, then went to ground. Fortunately, he didn't handle that.
A long ball in behind from QPR floats harmlessly into the path of McGuinness at centre half for Luton. QPR in their 10th consecutive championship season. Only just escaped relegation last year, 6 points clear, but a feeling of optimism amongst the QPR fans at the moment. Marty Cifuentes made a big impression on the fans as Frey wins it back for QPR. Loses it almost immediately though. It's then played into the channel for Adebayo, who jumps over a sliding challenge from Steve Cook, who then picks up the ball to prevent Luton from taking the early throw-in, and he gets a yellow card for that because he's preventing the play from continuing quickly. So yellow card for Steve Cook.
Yeah, can't have any too many complaints. I think he knows exactly what he's doing there. The ball's ricocheted off the hoardings and Luton are going to get on with it. I think it was Chong looking to get the ball in his hands and play, and again that's what they want. They want that intensity, they want to play with fire, and they don't want to give QPR a moment, and that was an opportunity to maintain the pressure.
Luton come again, cross from Chong, met at the back stick by Walters, step back and then Jordan Clark shoots straight at Nada in goal for QPR, who had to snatch it up on the second attempt, stung his palms, dropped it, caught it. 30 minutes on the clock. Luton 1, QPR 0.
A lovely set from Morris as well, had nice pace on it. It meant that Jordan Clark could just sweep it first time. Lacked a little bit of conviction, which is surprising. That's the type of chance that Jordan Clark really enjoys. Gets a number of goals from outside the 18-yard box, just didn't catch that one.
Flicked round the quarter by Rule Walters into the number 9 for Luton, who has a pull on his shirt and goes down. And welcome to those listening on Talk Sport. It's Luton 1, QPR 0. QPR started brightly, but Luton took the lead, an own goal from QPR's Jimmy Dunn. Alongside me for this former Luton Town striker, Sam Parkin. What have you made of this so far, Sam?
Incredibly bright, really good atmosphere inside of Kenilworth Road, and both teams started brightly, knocking the ball around. Luton threatening to blow QPR away at the moment now. It's a really good spell for them.
And Adebayo takes the shot, deflected wide. Coverage continues here on TalkSport 2. Currently Luton 1, QPR 0. Corner for Luton. As you say, Sam, they're ramping up now, Luton. They're threatening a second.
Yeah, they've really been able to introduce the two centre forwards into the game in recent minutes. Adebayo is running intelligently, he's powerful down the sides of the QPR centre halves, and they're keeping it alive in the final third. And what they're doing more than anything is they're getting balls in the box, and they're getting bodies in the box. Everything that I'm sure Rob Edwards demands from his team. And right now QPR just need to get through this spell, try and get to half time with it not getting any worse than 1-0.
Alfie Doherty over this corner, swings it in, clears everyone, collected by Baptiste and goes back to Bell in the centre circle for Luton. He then spreads it out. Dembele's there to intercept. Luton throw in on the Luton left hand side, midway inside QPR's half. Quick throw up to Carlton Morris, out by the byline. He's in the penalty area, twisting, turning, goes back to Jordan Clark. He's urged to shoot, he obliges, his effort blocked and cleared. It's all Luton Town at the moment. QPR struggling to get a foothold in this game. Deep down the line for Chong. Chong out by the byline, he's into the box now. Across goal, cleared, and then Jordan Clark on the half volley. Straight at a QPR player who hooks it out of play. Rob Edwards, Luton Town's manager, grabs it, he wants his side to get going.
QPR just getting overrun a little bit in midfield. Jack Colback's been quite advanced in this first half. Sam Field just anchoring the midfield, and Teeth Chong is having a large impact, and that was a brilliant bit of running for him. Too easily found though by Shandon Baptiste. Opportunity to put a ball in the box, but QPR in fairness did recover. There was 7 or 8 blue and white hoop shirts in the 18-yard box to repel that danger.
Long ball into the channel for Chong. Can he keep this alive? No, he can't. Goal kick for QPR. Luton Town, one of the relegated sides from Premier League last season, raided somewhat for players in the transfer market. Another side that has been raided for players is Burnley. They play tomorrow, 12:30 against Blackburn. Live commentary on TalkSport 2. The choice of listening as well at that time. Arsenal face Brighton in the Premier League. TalkSport's exclusive for that one. And if you've got the TalkSport app, you can swipe in between both games and listen to those. Luton 1, QPR 0. QPR players down, holding his face. And the referee, Bobby Madley, stops play, much to the dissatisfaction of the faithful here at Kenilworth Road.
Yeah, it's Dembele, it's Doughty on Dembele. There is a little arm in the face, but it's not going to injure the player. And Luton were ahead of steam there. It's a difficult place to play when you're a visiting player, when the crowd is like this and when they're having one of these spells. And at the moment, there's no outlet for QPR. The ball's coming straight back. And credit to Luton after a difficult start to this game. Very much looking like their old selves.
They very much are. Luton 1, QPR 0. And as you say, Sam Parkin, QPR looking a little lacklustre up top. What kind of options do they have to bring on? They've got Shan Sellar, young striker, but now that Lyndon Dykes has gone, are they missing attacking players, attacking options?
Yeah, they're probably potentially looking at maybe doing something before 11 o'clock tonight. That said, I think it's early days for Sellar. I think he showed on Tuesday against Luton some better touches, some better movement, and obviously coming from the Swiss League, I believe, Slovenian striker, it may take a little bit of time, but they've obviously paid a little bit of money for him, probably anticipating him having quite a large impact. I think Frey's a decent 18-yard box player, but he's a little bit limited in other areas. There was a moment a second or so ago when Carlton Morris received the ball to feet and he wriggled and he produced a little bit of skill and then he set it back for, I think it was Burke to come and have a shot. And I thought that was just a little bit contrasting, that Carlton Morris has just got a little bit more similar frames, similar roles for the team, but he's just got a little bit more craft.
Dembele is okay, and we continue. Luton have the ball. It's switched out to Walters on the edge of the box. Hooks the ball across into the penalty area, headed clear, and then Frey does manage to hold the ball up. Now he's got no options though, and he flicks it out to Madsen, and it falls kindly for the Danish midfielder, who's surrounded though by yellow shirts, and then hauled to the ground, wins the free kick, and QPR needed that because they were struggling to get out.
Yeah, I mean, he's a technician, isn't he, Madsen? We've seen as much already to suggest that he's going to be a player that knits the midfield and the attack together, but what he isn't is particularly quick. He's not going to run behind. He wants the ball to feet, and this first half, to a degree, has passed him by. Looks like he'll be a nice player for QPR, but when you're under the cosh and the atmosphere is intensive and the ball looks the size of a golf ball when it's coming into you, it's difficult, and it's one of those spells right now. They just have to try and weather it and try and get Dembele, Lloyd on the ball. Can they get the team up the pitch? They get the fans back on side and give the rest of the players and team a bit of belief?
8 minutes remaining of this first half. Luton lead by a goal to 0. QPR in possession. Clark Salter plays it to his left back, Kenneth Powell. Goes down the line to Lloyd. Under pressure. Is robbed of the ball, but QPR nick it back from Colback. He then loses out to Baptiste. A little bit scrappy, the ball on the halfway line in front of the two managers. Neither side able to get it under control. Baptiste having his shirt pulled, but the free kick goes the way of QPR. Somewhat surprised by that.
Yeah, I thought he was going to penalise Jack Colback. It felt for all intents and purposes that someone was going to come flying in there. It was a bit old-fashioned, 5 or 6 players fighting for the ball on this near side. I think he just decided enough was enough, Bobby Madley.
The last time he refereed even a Luton game, it was Luton-Watford. Watford won that 4-0, and Gabby Osho was sent off. Not happy memories for Hatters fans. As Dembele wins it back for QPR, plays into the feet of Madsen, and QPR win a free kick in a good area in that right channel. 10 yards in from the touchline, so a chance to whip the ball in, and the Luton Town fans not happy about that.
No, it was soft, but it's a foul. I've got the luxury of seeing it again on the monitor. He just has a little swing with his right foot, Amari Bell, and catches the player as it's shielded. Just touched on Madsen and his technical qualities, and he shields the ball intelligently there.
Now this could be a dangerous moment for Luton. QPR have scored 3 headed goals so far in the Championship, 1 in each of their 3 Championship games. Dembele is over it. They've got plenty of height in the box. Frey, Field, as Dembele floats one in, cleared at the near post, out for a corner to QPR.
Yeah, that's what he's there for, Doughty, just screening that front post. He's the one that gets back in there sharp. Frey was poised just on his shoulder, looked like he was going to be able to get a one-touch finish away, but very good defending from the wing-back.
So another opportunity for QPR to swing the ball in and try and get level here 6 minutes before half-time. Dembele from the corner on the far side. It's an in-swinger towards the near post. This time Adebayo with the clearance, and it's another corner, and that's a move that QPR have done in a couple of their other games. The near post ball in and the flick on.
Yeah, it's the whip on it, isn't it, and the trajectory rather than the pace, I would say. He's clipping it in, spinning it into that near post. Only requires the faintest of touches, as it was Frey, wasn't it, against Plymouth Argyle last time out in the league for QPR. Exact replica of that corner.
And Frey's in the 6-yard box ready for that flick on, should it come his way. Dembele spins it in, near post. Again, Adebayo is there, the striker back doing his defensive duties. He's back with Dembele though. Got really quick feet and he runs inside. Good play from Chong though. And Luton Town now can break. Adebayo travelling over the halfway line in the left-hand channel. Orange shirt steaming forward. Slides it into Doherty. His players in the box. He cuts it across. Walters in the box tries to set it to Morris. The man, Royal Walters probably should have shot there. A little bit of experience, I think. And he'd have pulled the trigger, but he tried to lay it off to Morris. Luton still in possession. They lead QPR by 1-0. 5 minutes of this first half remaining.
Similar position, and would have been, I would suggest, a similar technique to that of Zach Nelson, his contemporary the other night at Loftus Road with his goal. I didn't think that was the worst little ball there. He took the sting out of the cross and he kind of just cushioned it into Carlton Morris, but it looked like the centre forward had just switched off and wasn't expecting it. And when you do that as a centre forward, normally it's off your toes and the opposition are away down the other end.
Perhaps not the right options. Well, Carlton Morris had his back to goal as well, so he would have to have turned and shot. As you say, that goal from Zach Nelson, that was against QPR midweek. That was an absolute beauty of a volley.
You've got some good young players here, no question, and unfortunately for Rob Edwards, I think coming into the season he was obviously a little undercooked in terms of senior players and senior defenders, so he started 3, didn't he, on that opening evening against Burnley. Johnson, Nelson and Walters is out there tonight, so yes, he wants to give them minutes, and I'm sure they're going to have a big part to play this season, but 3, I think, straight in for their Championship bows was a tough ask on that evening, and so it proved.
Yeah, it took a bit of a beating against Burnley, 4-1, but I believe 2 of the goal scorers for Burnley don't play for Burnley anymore. Burnley have lost so many players in the transfer market. Over on TalkSport tonight from 10 p.m. you can listen to Deadline Day special with Jim White and Alex Crook to hear of any last minute deals that are going on. 3 minutes remaining here of this first half. Luton 1, QPR 0, and Luton have a free kick that's switched into the box by Doherty. McGuinness at the back stick, can't get onto it, and QPR's Sam Field comes away with it. He's got no one to go to though, so he just hooks it downfield. Frey chasing onto it, but as you say, Sam Parkin, Frey's not the man with the speed to run in behind, is he?
No, needs people around him, probably more than any other centre forward in the second tier. Absolutely needs people in close proximity. He wants to play 1 and 2 touch and then get in the box. And in the early part of this game, his link-up was pretty impressive actually. A couple of lovely velvety touches down on this near side that really made him look the part, and players were joining in at that stage. It's just subsided somewhat.
Ball's out on the left-hand side with Luton's Amari Bell. And as a former striker yourself, Sam Parkin, what do the other attackers need to do? Do they need to get closer to him?
Yeah, the quality needs to be better into Frey. You can't get into a habit of just punting the ball in his direction because you're under pressure. That's when you need your players to be at the most composed. But again, I think the wide players, the flair players, if you can't work it through the pitch, the flair players need to get the ball and they need to be positive and they need to drive. Dembele did it a few moments ago and I didn't mind that. He got dispossessed on the edge of the box, but what he did do was turn around and run back 70, 80 yards. Not everything's going to come off in the final third, but they need to be positive and proactive and try and alleviate the pressure on the team, but on the centre forward as well, and help him.
It's with Frey now and he pulls the trigger, goes wide, takes a nick off a Luton player though, corner, so another chance for them to whip the ball in, but that was good work there from Frey. That
was terrific, and there you go, 2-touch, back to goal, little cushion touch to the side, swiveled, got his strike away. He's not going to want to be over elaborate, he's not going to want to take too many touches. That was really instinctive, good play.
Into the final minute of the first half, Luton leading by that Jimmy Dunn own goal, but QPR with a corner here, and they've looked good from set-piece situations such as this. Dembele with the in-swinger. Again, Adebayo's there. Only so far as Cole back who volleys into the backside of Amari Bell. Then the shot comes in off a Luton player out for another corner. Not Amari Bell. Adebayo. Really good defending again.
Yeah, I think that's a big positive. Him and Carlton Morris, when they come back defensively, they do a really sterling job for Luton Town, especially Adebayo in the front post area. That was another good chance for Lloyd. I think he took quite a secure first touch with loads of bodies around him and just couldn't steer his side-footed right-footed effort towards the corner of the net.
Another corner for QPR. 2 minutes of injury time at the end of this first half. Madsen this time near post. Doherty heads it away. Dembele goes back to Powell in the centre circle. The QPR players are still forward. Spreads it to Jimmy Dunn. He's done well there, Dunn. Tries to flick it over Carlton Morris, but gets bogged down with two orange shirts around him and concedes the throw-in. Luton have a throw-in out by their own corner flag. A bit of defending for Luton Town through the end of this first half, but they've done a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Defending their box well. That was good play from Jimmy Dunn. Carlton Morris got a little touch on the ball, maybe off his chest, which just halted his raid down the right-hand side. I think Jimmy Dunn's got a bit of a problem defensively tonight. You'd invariably think that Doherty would probably be the one that he's having to do a bit of a job on, but Steve Chong's been pulling onto that side loads in this first period and running beyond Dunn as well, and that's a little bit of a mismatch. You'd expect maybe one of the holding midfield players to help out in that regard, but with just Sam Field in that vicinity, he's got a job on his hands at the moment.
Luton Town boot the ball out for a QPR goal kick. You feel that the Rob Edwards side keen to get to the half-time break now. They're a goal up here on TalkSport 2. Championship football on a Friday night. QPR's goalkeeper Paul Nada. There's all the QPR players drift to the right-hand side. And he goes long into that clog of players. Frey will try and challenge for it, but there is the half-time whistle from Bobby Madley. So QPR started brightly. Dembele with a chance after 5 minutes, but the home side grew into the game and took the lead from a corner. The ball going in off Jimmy Dunn, QPR's defender. After that, Luton pressure to get a second. Adebayo with a near miss as he ran into the box. The ball was crossed, couldn't quite latch onto it. But at half-time, it is Luton Town 1, QPR 0, and former Luton Town striker Sam Parkin. QPR with work through the second half.
Yeah, it's been a really good game. I think the atmosphere's been terrific inside of here. We got an electric start from both sides. Really aggressive approach. The ball was zipping around, but in truth, QPR played really well for 5 minutes at the start of the half and 10 minutes at the end of the half. In between, for half an hour, Luton really compressed the game, were aggressive, and QPR just couldn't live with them. So very much the Luton Town of the Championship 2 years ago, and Rob Edwards will be thrilled, I think, that they've responded to the negativity of the early weeks of the season with a fine first half performance.
Thanks, John. Players are out then for the second half, and Luton Town have made a change. Reece Burke came off at half-time, replaced by Ted Mengi, who there's been a lot of speculation about him leaving, going to Torino. So he's on the pitch now, so whether that means that he's staying, who knows. But Luton are coming forward straight away. Walters feeds it into Baptiste, who tries to cut it across in the box. He's forced wide, and it's back with Amari Bell. He whips the ball in and headed out by Field. So the full 11s then, Luton making that one change. Kaminsky in goal, Mengi, McGuinness and Bell, the three centre-halves, Walters and Doherty, the wing-backs, Clark, Baptiste and Chong, the midfielders, Adebayo and Morris up top as QPR come forward down the left-hand side. And Mengi on Sam Parkin, does that mean he's staying?
Quite possibly. It'd be difficult probably to get a deal done tonight, although I'm sure they're close to the old fax machine, aren't they, the Luton hierarchy over there, if they're still in use. But yeah, I think there's two things here. I think he's been struggling with a groin injury, I believe. That's why he was left out on Tuesday. So you have to think that could be playing a part. And also Reece Burke has missed a lot of football, and they're just drip feeding the minutes into him the last few weeks. So it's quite understandable if Rob Edwards just felt longer than 45 may be a stretch for Burke and Mengi to a degree. So yeah, it certainly doesn't weaken them, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. So a minute into this second half, Luton leading QPR by 1-0. That goal, an own goal from Jimmy Dunn on 18 minutes. Let me go through the 11 then for QPR. They didn't make any changes at the break. So in goal is Nardi, a back four of Powell, Clark, Salter, Cook and Dunn, Colback, Field and Madsen in the midfield, Frey up top, the target man, Dembele and Lloyd either side of him, as Carlton Morris receives a long ball. It's shoved to the ground, but no free kick, and QPR carry on. QPR with Colback, he goes back to his goalkeeper, finds Cook, that's a nice straight ball up to Madsen, tries to find Dembele, he's found him well. Dembele gets a pull of the shirt, wins the free kick, and that will be a yellow card for Luton's centre-half / full-back Alfie Doughty.
Yeah, again, I mean, they got away with it, QPR, because Dembele's bright to the situation and he reacts quicker than Doughty, and it's a definite yellow card. But I think he can run in behind there, Dembele. Madsen would have just turned it into the space, and Doughty's not going to get back at Dembele if he has the start on him. I think that was another missed opportunity with Luton's back line high.
But they've got an opportunity now, QPR, to whip the ball into the penalty area. We know how good they are aerially from set pieces. Floated in by Dembele. Frey can't get the flick on, and Kaminsky dives to his right to clutch.
A bit further out, but it was that delivery that I felt would have better suited Alfie Doughty in the first half. Slightly further out, 5-10 yards, but Dembele puts it perfectly into that area where the goalkeeper doesn't really know whether he should dive or wait to see if it gets ricochet somewhere else in the goal. In the end, just able to stretch to his right and clutch the ball, as you say.
QPR in possession with Jimmy Dunn, who scored that unfortunate own goal in the first half. He goes back to his goalkeeper, who was pressured by Chong. Frey then goes back to Dunn, who finds Dembele on the halfway line. He's got such quick feet, Dembele. He's a player that QPR need to get into the game more if they're going to get something from this match. As QPR win a throw-in just in front of Rob Edwards in their own half. 4 minutes into this second half, Luton 1, QPR 0 on TalkSport 2. Alongside me, former Luton striker Sam Parkin. Luton concede the free kick. No, in fact, it's been given the way of Luton, just on the halfway line. Ted and Mengi is over this. It's now back with McGuinness. He's looked bright, the young centre-half. In the middle of that back three for Luton, Amari Bell in the left-back position goes up to Adebayo, who tries to cushion it into the path of Chong. Picked up by Doherty, who spreads it wide to Mengi. Walters with chalk on his boots out on that right-hand side. He wants to run at Dembele. Instead feeds Morris. Morris tries the return pass. He's tripped, wants the free kick. Boos from the home crowd, not given. QPR try and break, but good defending from Jordan Clark and Teden Mengi. One back by Field into Madsen for QPR. They've got the ball just inside their own half on the left-hand side. Game a bit scrappy in this opening 5 minutes of the second half. As Carlton Morris goes down under a bit of a tug, and that's a yellow card given out to Sam Field for that. A little bit harsh, Sam Parkin?
Yeah, I think it was a foul. Carlton Morris needed that touch to be assured and do a little bit better. He'd given the previous couple away that had come into his feet, and that was really positive from him. Don't see that too often, him driving towards opponents, shifted it to the side, and yeah, there was a collision, but QPR had enough players back to suggest that wasn't going to be a good opportunity for Luton, but yellow card nonetheless.
This is an opportunity for Luton, though, to get what would be their second. Alfie Doughty with the free kick. Orange shirts lined up just 10 yards up from the penalty box, and he chips one towards the back stick. Carlton Morris heads it across goal, doesn't find an orange shirt, and then it's volleyed by Baptiste off a QPR player out for a Luton corner. Great cushion header from Morris, but no teammate there met it.
Yeah, all he could do really, and it lands in a prime spot really from Carlton Morris. A lot of QPR players back there, and Baptiste just can't control it really on the far post, albeit it takes a deflection taking it behind.
He hit 20 in the Championship the season before, Carlton Morris, for Luton. Yet to get off the mark this Championship season. Corner for Luton. All the players in the 6-yard box. It's swung into that area. Punch from the QPR goalkeeper, and then Dembele with the headed clearance. Chong trying to keep it alive, and Adebayo can't slide and keep the ball in play. Luton 1, QPR 0. Jimmy Dunn, who scored that own goal in the first half, he's got a throw in. Goes back to captain Steve Cook. Play that I believe you played with, Sam Parkin. Steve Cook?
Against?
Yeah.
No, I never played with him, but yeah, great competitor. So he had that phenomenal period early on in his career at Bournemouth. I think he's been a brilliant signing actually for QPR. I think before that he was a brilliant signing at Nottingham Forest as well. Terrific defender. I think more than anything a brilliant character, the low flow, you know, especially in a Championship dressing room when he went to Forest and they were trying to go up and achieve something. Brilliant to have in there. His experience, his leadership qualities, and I think that's been incredibly evident since he's come to QPR. It was a dressing room that he walked into that had a dearth, I think, of strong characters and good leaders. He is absolutely that. He's had a really good time at Rangers.
And a bit of a changing of the guard really at QPR. When I think of QPR in the past couple of years, I always think of Chris Willock, Lyndon Dykes, Ilias Chair. Two of those have left. Ilias Chair's out injured, but Luton are coming forward here. It's Adebayo with the ball at his feet, shoots, hits the body of the QPR goalkeeper. He then bowls it out, and QPR get away with that. Adebayo with the goal at his mercy, can only hit it at the goalkeeper.
Well, it's a wonderful save, because what Nardi does, he comes down and he closes down that space and makes himself enormous. Adebayo's not going to get a better chance than that this evening. I will take the opportunity to highlight the pass from Shandon Baptiste on his left foot. It is beautiful, and he's been very good tonight, and we probably haven't mentioned him that often. He's just gone about his work. Probably as the deepest line midfielder, he has been excellent. That was a beautiful pass.
Into Doherty on the edge of the box for Luton. His pass intercepted as he tried to square it. He's chasing down the goalkeeper now, and Nada manages to clear it just in time. Luton looking lively. They lead by a goal to 0, and that's got the crowd up here. The QPR fans all silent on that far side behind Kaminsky's goal.
But they're going to make a change, QPR, and they need to, Flo, because this game is getting away from them. It feels like another goal's coming, and it's not for the away side.
Luton throw-in. Walters goes back to Clark. They're in the QPR half. He goes back to McGuinness. QPR under the cosh. Shandon Baptiste made over 50 appearances in the Premier League for Brentford. He's been a good signing so far for Luton. Flicks it out to Walters, who's in an offside position according to the assistant referee. Free kick for QPR on the edge of their box, and it looks like QPR will make a change in a moment too. Paul Smith looks like he's about to come on. Different attacking option. It's with Cole back. He squares it to Field for QPR. Back to Dunn. All the players now in the Luton half. Luton's defence happy to sit deep, allow the QPR players to have the ball. It's with Dembele. Cuts inside. His pass was not a good one, and Amari Bell cuts it out. Chong now takes the ball on the half turn. Finds Carlton Morris. Evades the challenge of Colback, and it's then switched out to Walters on that right-hand side. In the attacking third now. Up against Powell. Walters into the box. Still got it, Walters. He then feeds it to his right. It's then played across goal, but out of play. That's a poor ball from Jordan Clark.
There's a lovely flowing move. Carlton Morris's hold-up was exemplary there, bringing in Walters on the right-hand side. He looked a little leggy. Looked like he was just feeling the pace of the game as he's made his way towards it, but the overlapping run from Clark, that deserved better. It was a lovely Luton Town move, and again, Clark's a better technician than he displayed there.
So here comes this QPR change then. Off comes Lloyd. He's replaced by Paul Smith as QPR try and get back into this game. Paul Smith, that hasn't scored in 15 league games.
He just shuffled around the front of the team. Dembele's gone into the number 10 now. Madson's gone wide on the left hand side, and Smith's going to have a go on the right up against Doughty. Yeah, I don't think any wide player's really going to relish going up against Mengi over on that flank, so maybe just Madsen just tucking in and providing him with a different problem is probably what Marty Cifuentes is thinking. If he plays in the pocket, it's going to take Mengi in there naturally or draw him towards it, and then maybe Carl will get a little bit of joy on the overlap on the left hand side. But it was a change that had to be made, not necessarily Smith, just needed to freshen things up.
57 minutes on the clock. Luton 1, QPR 0 here on TalkSport 2. And as you say, Sam Parkin, Dembele now in that number 10 spot. Loose touch from him though, and he's ceded possession to Chong, who skips past him. Now up against Dunn. He plays in field to Baptiste. Baptiste back to Clark. Luton have the ball in the QPR half. Clark then dinks it into the box for Adebayo. It's headed clear by Dunn. It's back at the feet of the striker Adebayo. He's forced back away from the penalty area though to Amari Bell. Then cut out and picked up by the substitute Smith, who dances away from Chong into the feet of Dembele. QPR have it, but they're under quite a lot of pressure here. Luton applying the press. QPR have to go long. And can Frey latch onto this? McGuinness has got his hand on his shirt. Frey in the penalty area. Still Frey. Squares it to the left. And is put in by QPR. They have equalised against Luton. Somewhat against the run of play. And it's Nicholas Madsen. His first goal in a QPR shirt. All the work done by Michael Frey. Muscled off some players. Played it square. And Madsen slotted it in. Luton Town 1, QPR 1.
Well, it's a mistake from McGuinness. I think he loses the flight of the ball, and Frey just positions himself so intelligently, and then probably would have been given as a penalty maybe, as Frey lost his footing under the challenge of McGuinness as he desperately tried to make up for his mistake. But what he did do, he slid in and he kept it alive, poking it to the left, and Madsen arriving has got the simplest of tasks, just to pop it into the net. Brilliant play from Frey. We've been critical of him at times, but that was terrific strength and brilliant awareness at the end of it.
Luton 1, QPR 1. And I was going to say, Sam Parkin, we have been critical of Frey, but what a job he did there. Proper centre forward play. under pressure, and it was a really good assist from him.
He actually had to get a little bit on the pass as well, and he was on the deck because Jordan Clark was recovering. Mengi had come over to help McGuinness but had taken himself out of the game, misjudged his challenge, and the pass on the floor is a really good ball from him on the deck into the path of Madsen arriving, and now we've got a game on.
QPR fans jumping in the goal behind Kaminsky, gesturing to the Luton fans who are all seated down there. Michael Frey as well, just with another really good hold up and side ball for Dembele. Free kick though given the way of Luton. 30 minutes remaining of this game as the long ball's played up to Morris, headed out by Clark Salter. Walters can't keep it alive. QPR fans are jumping now.
Well, let's get it right. They'd hardly been in the Luton half, let alone the box. I mean, that's come absolutely from nowhere, and manager shuffles the pack, makes a few alterations at the top end of the pitch, and all of a sudden you've got Madsen arriving from the left hand side and gets a goal immediately. He's looked like a good player. It's just the game has probably not been for him tonight in terms of coming to the Championship, into this atmosphere, this pace of the game. He's passed him by to a degree, but he'd be delighted to be up and running in a Rangers shirt.
Again, good hold up from Frey. Steve Cook can only knock it out of play though for a Luton throw in midway inside their own half.
For his lack of mobility, if you get good quality into Frey, it's difficult to get the ball off him, and he just rolled McGuinness there, and then he used his body really well. Good intelligence, and then the pass gets better and better. He's done ever so well to tee up the goal scorer.
Smith now into Frey. It's now with Dembele, slides it out to Madsen, the goal scorer. Madsen goes left to Powell. Powell with the ball in the box, and Frey with the volley! What a finish that is from Michael Frey! And he knee slides in front of the QPR fans. He's put his side in front. Luton Town 1, QPR 2.
That's exactly what we were just talking about. It's Madsen coming infield there, dragging Mengi with him into infield where he doesn't want to go. He wants to be one-on-one, where he can get into a race with the player. And he tees up Parle on the left-hand side. He's arriving right on cue, loads of space, and then they're queuing up at the far post. And then it's just whether Frey can control what is a difficult chance on his strong right foot, and he cushions it beautifully with the right foot, gets the pace it requires as well to beat Kaminsky at the near post. It's a brilliant QPR goal.
Fantastic Frey finish, and Kenilworth Road stunned. The QPR fans behind that goal had a perfect view of that finish, and they are ecstatic. Luton staring down the barrel of another defeat. Plenty of time left to play, 27 minutes remaining, but Luton Town trail here on TalkSport 2 by 2-1 after taking the lead in the first half.
It's a really brilliant goal, you've got to say. I mean, by luck or judgment, that change to the front line, not necessarily the introduction of Smith, but just moving those front players into different roles, has certainly paid off. Madsen involved in both of them, the scorer of the first, and there the architect really. Like I said, he came in field, and Mengi out of position really, in a kind of central midfield role momentarily, space for Parle to deliver, and then if Frey hadn't got there, Jimmy Dunn was queuing up as well. Big overload on the far post.
Luton on the attack now. Doherty whips it in with his left foot. Morris at the back post, headed across goal, headed clear by Clark Salter. Again, a good cushion header across goal from Morris, but couldn't find a teammate. Luton looking to react. It's out with Walters. He goes back to Baptiste. Baptiste tries to swing one in. Hits the head of a QPR player, and then McGuinness fouls Dembele on the edge of his own penalty area. QPR free kick, 10 yards just forward of their 18-yard box.
Yeah, responded well. Luton, deep ball in from Doughty, and Carlton Morris on that occasion does really well. Times it to perfection, far post, heads it down into a dangerous area. Just once again, Adebayo unable to turn his knockdown towards the target.
Ball played back to Luton Town centre-half McGuinness. He goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. I can see Luton's manager, Rob Edwards, just scratching his chin, looking a little bit pensive. I know there's a lot of goodwill for Rob Edwards and the job he's doing, and the performances haven't been terrible, but when will he start to feel the pressure, Sam Parkin?
I'd like to think he'd, get given large portion of time. I really think, if they're in the lower half going into the winter, obviously there'll be questions asked, but they've lost a lot of players, and there's no guarantee, I don't think, despite obviously the riches that the Premier League brings and the help it will give the club being sustainable.
Paul Smith coming forward now for QPR on the edge of the Luton penalty area. Good quick footwork, plays it back to Powell with that delivery to the back post that culminated in that earlier goal. Overhit this time though, and it's as you say, they have lost a lot of players, Luton. Barkley, Ogbene, Townsend, Lokonga, they're all starters.
Yeah, I think the reality is you've got to remember where Luton were. It was an incredible achievement to get up, and also there's a lot going on at the club in terms of the new stadium and still building the infrastructure, so it's not going to go all on one go. You can't afford to do that anymore with the regulations that are in place, but it's I think unrealistic to think they're going to come down to the Championship and blow it away. It's going to be a really competitive league this season, but they don't want to give them too much to do. They don't want to be playing catch up from the early part of the season, so this is a blow if they lose tonight.
Coming forward now though, Luton Town with Chong, who can't control it in the penalty area. Kicked out for a Luton corner. Luton 1, QPR 2 here on TalkSport 2. Alfie Doughty in front of all the QPR substitutes who are warming up will take this corner. All the Luton players forward. Their goalkeeper Kaminsky in the centre circle with his hands on his knees to get a better view of this corner. And there's Doughty. Hooks the ball goalwards, headed clear by Dunn. Back to Amari Bell in the centre circle. He switches it out looking for Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark brings that down beautifully on the corner of the box. He's done well there. His ball across the face of goal, hit up rather than out, then punched by the QPR goalkeeper. Still alive though, Clark. He whips the ball in. Mengi can't get there. Dunn again with the headed clearance. Smith now tries to bring it into his path. Goes in under a challenge from Chong. No foul, says Bobby Madley. Back with Luton's Mengi. Loose touch from him. Out for a QPR throw in midway inside their own half. And Sam Parkin, Rob Edwards spoke ahead of this about how unsettling the transfer market period is, with loads of players leaving and going. Do you think that has made this difficult start for Luton even more difficult?
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe Leicester apart last season, there was a few indifferent results for the other relegated sides, if memory serves. So I think it is tricky. I remember speaking to some of the Southampton staff this stage of last season, and going out onto the training pitch every day and not necessarily knowing what the numbers were going to be or who was still going to be at the club. So I think it is difficult, and obviously, like I touched on earlier, some of these players have done themselves, and the players that have left Luton already did themselves no harm at all and performed admirably in the Premier League last season, and naturally there's going to be teams looking at them and seeing if they can do a job in the top flight once more this campaign.
Adebayo on the corner of the QPR 18-yard box, goes back to Bell. Bell finds Baptiste in the box. He goes to Adebayo, who shoots, palmed away by the QPR goalkeeper. The shot was a good one, but it never really looked like Adebayo was going to score there. Is he lacking a bit in confidence?
Well, I think he is. There, I think the ball's under his feet. It's really good stuff. The take and the pass from Shandon Baptiste once more is lovely. And it's under his feet. Would have been better placed just squaring that, I think, across the 6-yard box. A lot of incoming Luton players and QPR players rushing in to try and defend. Anything can happen.
Approaching the final 20 minutes of this match. QPR leading Luton by 2-1 here at Kenilworth Road. Back with the Luton goalkeeper, He passes to Amari Bell, goes down the line to Doughty. I wonder how much longer until Rob Edwards will make further changes. At the feet of Carlton Morris on the halfway line, he feeds it into Clark. That's good build-up from Luton. Clark driving down the right-hand side. He crosses the ball straight into the gloves of Paul Nada in goal for QPR. And the crossing, the delivery, which Luton are usually so good at, hasn't really been great tonight.
Well, that one wasn't good, but a few moments ago he did put in a brilliant ball. He just spun really quickly and put it in without thinking on his right foot. And Jake Clark-Salter was just a little bit quicker towards the near post space to defend it in front of Carlton Morris. Had Carlton Morris reacted a little bit quicker, could have turned into a brilliant ball.
McGuinness just shields the ball back to his goalkeeper Kaminsky, who bowls it out to Mengi. Luton in possession. They trail by 2-1 as Baptiste sprays the ball out to this left-hand side, brought down by Doughty, who pass forward is intercepted by Dunn and goes out for a Luton throw-in. Thrown back to Bell. Again off Dunn for a Luton throw-in. Thrown into Adebayo in the penalty area, but he's on the byline. He's back to Doughty. He delivers the ball into the box, then it's headed clear before an orange shirt can get there by QPR. And Madsen will chase this loose ball down. Good defending though from Ruel Walters, just to shield that ball out of play for Luton to keep possession. QPR fans enjoying their night. Luton Town fans starting to feel a little bit worried about their start to this championship season. They did go 4 games, the opening 4 games without a win in that championship season where they got promoted. And welcome to those listening on Talk Sport. It's Luton 1, QPR 2. Luton led in the first half through an own goal from Jimmy Dunn, but this second half they've been shocked by QPR. First of all, Madsen scoring, and then a pile driver from Michael Frey alongside me for Sam Parking. What a second half it's been for QPR.
Incredible turnaround. Rob Edwards just down near us won't be able to believe what's happened, because Luton have been in control for the majority of this game. Good substitution from Marty Cifuentes, bringing Paul Smith on, and he just reshaped the front line. And it's Madsen who's gone wide left now, who scores the equalising goal, and Frey had a hand in both the goals. We've been critical of him tonight. He was a bit of a passenger in the first half, but he's racked up an assist and then a brilliant goal on the volley on the far post, and a little flurry of QPR chances. They've completely turned this game on its head.
Coverage continues here on TalkSport 2. Currently Luton 1, QPR 2. And Jack Colback is down in the centre circle for QPR, which gives both sets of players a chance to get some water on board and some tactical instructions. And I think we're going to see some changes as well. You can see 2 QPR players primed to come on. First one is number 4 off, so Colback's off. Looks like he's nursing a bit of a knock. He's replaced by Anderson. He's not played since he went off against Sheffield United with a groin strain. So the long-haired Lucas Anderson back onto the pitch for QPR this evening. Also about to come on is new signing Varane, signed from a side in the Spanish second tier over the summer. Has featured in all 5 of QPR games so far, and he comes on in place of the goal scorer Madsen. So Madsen off, Varane on in his place. So a bit of a change up in the midfield then for QPR, and this triggers Luton also making some substitutions as well.
Yeah, I think the fans have been desperate to see a little bit more of Joe Taylor. He was at Lincoln and Colchester last season and got a good return. Obviously got that disallowed goal, had that goal disallowed in the playoff final, went on to score in the shootout. So I think they're desperate for him to be given a bit more of an opportunity, and here it comes now with a game that needs to be salvaged. You can hear the cheers.
So Chong off, replaced by Taylor, and on comes Walsh as well. He replaces McGuinness. So both managers making 2 substitutions. And is that a change of formation for Luton Town to a back 4, Sam?
Yeah, it looks like it. He's trialled it a couple of times this season. I think when they went down to 10 at Pompey, obviously quite natural to drop into the back 4, but again at QPR on Tuesday night in the League Cup. So he's having a look at a couple of different formations in this early part of the season. I think Walters and Doughty, naturally going to be able to fill into those full-back orthodox roles, no problem at all.
Kaminsky bowls it out to Walters, bursting forward over the halfway line, checks his progress and plays square to Walsh.
Yeah, I think this could be the formation we'll be looking at times this season. 4-3-3 now. Liam Walsh the deepest of the midfielder, and a 3-pronged attack with Taylor left, Carlton Morris right. So let's see if they can salvage this game now.
It's with Roy Walters, who's operating now as a right back for Luton. They managed to play it out well to Baptiste. Walsh now the substitute in possession, feeds it into Adebayo on that right hand side in the channel. He's getting his shirt pulled. He gestures to the referee, but they play on. Luton still in possession. Again Adebayo takes it on the half turn, driving forward, cuts back up against Anderson, gets the ball low, hard across goal, but straight to the feet of Sam Field, and it's cleared for a Luton throw-in midway inside the half. Final 13 minutes, Luton 1, QPR 2. The visitors lead. Doughty, no options in front of him, so he drives forward. Good challenge from Paul Smith. Perfect, clean as a whistle, slide challenge. Frey goes back to the substitute Varane. He then knocks it in to the channel for Smith. Smith by the corner flag, just waiting for QPR players to get up and support him. He's robbed of the ball though, and Luton clear downfield. Taylor's done well to latch onto that. Good play though from the experienced Cook, just to halt his progress. Taylor has been on loan the past 2 seasons, Lincoln and Colchester. 10 goals in 19 appearances for Lincoln and League 1 last season, and he's got his socks really low, Sam Parkin. He's even wearing shin pads.
Bright yellow boots as well to add. He's a good young player.
Always makes it easier to spot, doesn't it, with the bright yellow boots?
Yeah,
we love those fancy boots.
It'll be interesting to see how he does out here on the left. I've not seen him play that role before. He just wants to run into space, play on the shoulder. It's not necessarily how Luton set up, so it's just finding a role for him. I think Rob Edwards right now, but it looks like he's going to be here unless something drastic happens after full time.
Dembele picks it up on the edge of the box for QPR. That's a poor challenge from Jordan Clark, right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Free kick here for QPR in a perfect position, and it's a yellow card for Jordan Clark as well for that challenge. Nice footwork from Dembele.
It was, and he's been quiet in the second half, no question. Threatened in the first period to kind of burst into life. He still was probably QPR's best outlet, but in the second half he's not been able to stamp his authority on the game. Maybe when it gets stretched, last 10-15 minutes or so with additional time in the number 10 position, let's see if he can have more of an impact.
Free kick then for QPR, right on the edge of the 18-yard box, just right of centre. Dembele won the free kick, and he looks like he's going to take it. Can he get a third for QPR? Anderson also over it from the left-hand side. The two teammates deep in conversation as the Luton Town orange wall lines up. The draft excluder a player down on the floor behind them just to make sure the free kick can't go under the wall when they jump. And this is a great position for a free kick, a great opportunity for QPR. Dembele runs up and he swings it round, lifts it far too high over the bar, out for a goal kick for Luton Town.
Yeah, a bit of a waste, just never got it down, elevated immediately. As soon as he struck that, it was going to miss that left-hand corner from which we look. Kaminsky comfortable that was going to miss by a distance.
Kaminsky with the ball at his feet, plays it out to Amari Bell. Luton winless coming into this, and they're staring down the barrel of defeat as things stand. Other sides that are winless in the Premier League are Everton and Bournemouth. We've got full live commentary of that on TalkSport Saturday at 3 p.m. as QPR have the ball with Sam Field in the Luton half. They go back to Dunn just inside his own half. He goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Under pressure, he fires up to Frey, who tries to flick it on. Offside flags up. Frey ran back from an offside position. Luton free kick right on the halfway line, which they take very quickly. Luton running out of time, 9 minutes remaining. They trail QPR by 2-1, both goals in the second half. As Adebayo is on the ball for Luton, it then falls to Baptiste, who can't get it under control. QPR clear. And they've got it with Powell into Varane, who then let a loose touch take it away from him and pulled the shirt of Mengi to give the free kick to Luton. More changes then in the offing for QPR. Off comes Dembele. He's replaced by another summer signing, another loanee, Kiko Sato, Japanese player. And also off comes Michael Frey, to applause from the QPR fans. What a contribution he's made in this game. He's replaced by summer signing Shan Sella. QPR looking to shore this up then. Luton free kick. 10 yards inside the QPR half. It's a floaty ball towards Carlton Morris at the back stick, kept alive by Jordan Clark. He's got two players on him. Finds Carlton Morris on the edge of the knee. Carlton Morris swings one in. Cook headers up. Still in the penalty area. Then it's cleared well by Varane. Bell steaming forward for Luton. Slides it into a Bayo in the penalty area. He's got the ball stuck under his feet. And Sato will run it clear for QPR. And then he was the victim of a sandwich challenge. Two Luton Town players coming either side of him, blocking his progress. He wins the free kick for his side, midway inside his own half. And that prompts a change for Luton then. On comes young Zach Nelson. He scored in the tie between these two in the League Cup midweek. A beautiful volley. And he replaces Shandon Baptiste. Rob Edwards hoping that Nelson can get another goal like he did midweek, Sam Parkin.
Yeah, be desperate for someone to step up now. I think Shannon Baptiste was excellent, particularly in this second half. His touch looks really assured on the ball. Played some lovely passes, none more so than that opportunity he set up for Adebayo. Been moving a little gingerly the last 10 minutes or so, so maybe just feeling the pace somewhat.
Luton's goalkeeper Kaminsky with the ball in his white gloves, rolls it out in front of him and hits it long. Met by QPR's Field, flicked on by Varane, and then Mengi hits it up rather than out. Walters touched really well there to get that under control for Luton. He's on the halfway line. He goes back to Walsh, who plays it forward for Taylor. Taylor can just flick it on towards the QPR goalkeeper, who will just wait to be pressured before he picks it up, to waste a couple of minutes. Final 5 minutes of this game as the poor drop kick from the QPR goalkeeper. Luton 1, QPR 2. QPR heading for their first 3 points in this championship campaign. Luton staring down the barrel of another defeat. They've got a throw in though, right in front of their manager, Rob Edwards. Thrown down the line, flicked on by Morris. Straight to Cook though, who boots it away. Then flicked on well by Seller. New striker brought on. Seller tiptoeing towards the box. Plays it square to Anderson, who couldn't quite get out of control. He's in the box though. He's got Smith behind him. He finds Smith. Smith with the cross. Cleared. And then hooked away further. QPR still have it though, out on that left-hand side with Powell. He cuts back inside and plays it to Field. The visitors in possession and in control. They lead Luton by 2 goals to 1. As Kiko Sato can only run it out of play. Luton throw in parallel or level with their own penalty area in their own half. One back by Anderson. Good work from the QPR man. He's just trying to hold it in near the corner flag for now. Tries to knock it off an orange shirt, and he has. He's won the corner for QPR.
Well, it's good, but it could have been better for QPR a few moments ago. This time it was Seller who fell to the ground but was still able to execute his pass, and for some reason Anderson just let the ball go beyond him. He was there, he was in a shooting position. It looked like he was completely unopposed and a nice little 5-10 yards of space where he was going to execute a finish. It's a little for Luton.
QPR pushing for a third with a corner in front of their travelling supporters. It's floated in, and the header from Dunn, and it's saved by Kaminsky. Hooked back in by Dunn. Danger's not over. Anderson now, he plays it across goal. Morris with the clearance, and then a foul on the Luton player. Free kick for Luton, but I thought Jimmy Dunn had got a third for QPR. That's a great save from Kaminsky.
It's outstanding. I think it gets a little deflection as well off Mengi on the way through to the target. Jimmy Dunn with a fine header at the far post, heads it down. It's magnificent. Extends Kaminsky to his left and just gets his left hand to it to push it aside. It's brilliant stuff.
And that would have been game over. Luton though looking for an equaliser. Adebayo out on the touchline. Fouls. Sato gives away a needless free kick late on here. When his side need the ball, they need a goal. Great save though that just then from Kaminsky. He just clawed it back, didn't he?
Yeah, it was top stuff. I mean, QPR looking so dangerous from dead balls. You spoke of that earlier in the piece. Looking really threatening. They have done tonight. And Jimmy Dunn attacked it brilliantly at the far post. Magnificent from Kaminsky.
Not good watching currently for Luton Town fans. And another glum stat, they've actually only got 1 win in their last 20 league games. Obviously they were in the Premier League last season, hard to get a win there, but they made a bit of a habit of not winning. Free kick for Luton in their own half. Ball sprayed out towards Doughty, but it's a good header from Jimmy Dunn. Brought down by Clark on the halfway line for Luton. He goes down under a challenge. Referee Bobby Madley blows his whistle. Free kick for Luton right in front of their manager on this near side, just over the halfway line. We're into the final minute. Luton 1, QPR 2. QPR fans poised to celebrate this win. Back with Doughty. Tries to run past Smith. Smith just blocks off his run, and then it's just shielded out of play for a goal kick. Really good defensive work from Paul Smith.
Yeah, brilliant. Going to struggle to beat him for pace there, and he reads it as well. Paul Smith, Doughty frustrated. flung him to the ground, Smith, but he's done sterling work there for his side.
QPR fans singing "You're getting sacked" in the morning to Rob Edwards. I think that's a little bit premature.
I would agree wholeheartedly.
As the board goes up for 5 minutes of additional time at the end of this 90. So 5 minutes for Luton to find an equaliser. Rob Edwards, Luton manager, with his arms folded. He knows this is not a good result for them. Opening 4 matches this will be without a win. QPR's Varane has the ball. It's hooked forward and Luton clear. Walsh manages to flick it on towards Adebayo, but Dunn comes back well to defend. It's then hit long for Kiko Sato, who's in the box for QPR. Good defending from Mengi, who just comes across and forces him backwards. Japanese player then shoots low, blocked. QPR can't clear. Anderson then shoots with his left foot. Kaminski gets down low well, pulls the ball into his body and tries to get the Luton attack going straight away. Long ball. Morris doesn't manage to get the flick on. Luton still have it. Slid out to Walters on that right hand side. He dinks it into the box. Cook with the diving headed clearance. Then played out again to Ruel Walters. He's got lots of orange shirts to aim for. Across goal, Morris gets there, but blocked well by Clark Salter. Luton keeping men forward for this attack. Walters infield to Nelson. Nelson square to Bell. Bell forced back to Mengi. Luton players lining up on the edge of the penalty area, waiting for the delivery. Nelson obliges, whips it in. Headed clearance by Steve Cook. He's been immense at the back there with those headed clearances. 3 minutes of the 5 injury minutes remaining. Good turn there by Jordan Clark, but again, good defending from QPR.
Yeah, he's helped Varane, just coming in there to strengthen the midfield alongside Sam Field. That was brilliant defensive work from him. Now, he's not been on long, but Nelson's had 4 or 5 touches. Absolutely perfect. Great range of passing, and that delivery there, that was probably the best of the second half. He flipped that into a wicked area for QPR to have to defend.
On the ball again, Zach Nelson tries to turn away from Field. QPR man does well. Walters now delivers it in. Flicked on again by Steve Cook. Doughty keeps it alive for Luton in the box. Across goal, headed out by Anderson. Recycled by Amari Bell for Luton. Clark now to deliver. Delivers with his right foot. Headed out by Dunn. All these crosses met by QPR players. Doughty. Again blocked by Smith. Luton getting frustrated.
They are, the supporters want that quality from out wide. They want someone to come up with a decent delivery to give the front players something to go and attack.
Luton attacking now from the right hand side into Morris. Morris turns, shoots with his left foot, saved by QPR's goalkeeper. The Luton fans jumped off their seat behind that goal, anticipating the net to flutter. Good save by Nada in goal. They come again, Luton. Clark. His delivery blocked. The Luton fans urge their team forward. That was Doughty. His ball dinked to the back stick. Morris headed across goal, and then Walsh could only head it over the bar. He was a couple of yards out, couldn't find the net, and is that Luton's chance gone?
Well, that's the chance he would have hoped and prayed for. Joe Taylor, the substitute. I think maybe Adebayo is better placed here when Carlton Morris heads it square. Maybe a QPR defender would have got there in any case, but Taylor will replay that over and over tonight. That's a glaring miss from him.
Only 30 seconds remaining. Luton 1, QPR 2. They're on TalkSport 2. QPR's goalkeeper hits it long. Mengi sends it back, but the goalkeeper will just wait for Adebayo to chase him, pick it up.
What a big moment from Nardi, the new goalkeeper as well, from Carlton Morris a few seconds ago, Flo. That was a brilliant stop from him.
And there is the full-time whistle then. Queen's Park Rangers come from behind to beat Luton Town here at Kenilworth Road. A first championship win for Marty Cifuentes' men. Luton Town, 4 championship games without a win. It was looking good for the home side. In the first half they took the lead through an own goal from Jimmy Dunn, but in the second half QPR came alive. Madsen first of all with the goal to get things level after a great assist from Frey. Frey then with a beautiful volley to put QPR in front. Luton pushed but never really looked like getting that equaliser. Big win for QPR, Sam Parkin.
Yeah, huge win, up and running for the season now. Frustration still here at Kenilworth Road if you're of a Luton Town persuasion, but that's not a poor Luton side. Firstly and foremost, I think they'll improve. They'll win a lot of games this season. They just need to dust themselves down after that, because I thought for an hour they were the better side. QPR had little flurries of chances, and they obviously had that spell where they got the 2 goals, but in the main they were second best tonight. So I think Rob Edwards will be scratching his head, but I think there's a resilience about Rangers now, and there's a better squad as well for Marty Cifuentes to pick from. Big night for them.
Full time Luton 1, Queen's Park Rangers 2.